Hello there, and welcome back everybody. We're going to go to the mines, like the name implies of this episode. At least I hope that those majestic tunnels that I have assigned to those people will finally see their completion. There are a couple of other things that I have in mind for today. I really feel like well, we need coal. We really need coal. There's a bad deposit here and a good deposit there, and it's all so far away. And I don't really want to wait that much longer until I get my bigger things in motion, like military production and the like. But I guess we'll have to wait until those tunnels are carved out. I mean, the good news is my Dondorian friends are finally happy enough to immigrate back into town again. So that's one bonus. The other thing we could do, that's one thing I took into consideration, was to assign one noble here. I mean, this all requires us to set up an entire new city environment down here in the mountain, because I already can foresee that. This eatery here is basically the last one, which will be supported by this warehouse there. And we're going to have to set up an entire infrastructure inside the mountain. So that's why I called this episode to the mines, because we're going to have a lot of work for in front of us in that regard. And it's also going to be, for me, the first time that I really go crazy on living inside a mountain. So the first thing that comes to my mind is we really need to have one housing area large enough to support all those miners. And that's going to be a really big thing, because we're going to see a damn lot of people working in there. So the other thing is I have to think about the placement of these areas. So here's going to be the plan. We're going to make this entire area here a big housing plaza. So this is going to be basically the big housing block under the mountain. That's why I'm carving out this crossroads here. So we're going to have plenty of room to bring in apartments in there. And then, well, we'll see about the rest. Let's assign the jobs for that. And here, I'm going to hollow this out entirely. So 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5. Yeah. That's pretty okay this way. And here we go, same. So these are really big projects, you know. But at the same time, I think we really need those really big projects by now. Because the city is at the point where it should develop itself into larger scale. Here we go. It'll take a couple of years of it. Okay. So to make sure that these jobs get done properly, we're going to get ourselves a workstation here. There we go. So we're going to assign 2 workers here, and these guys are going to be working mostly around here. It's a very nice tool if you have a certain area where you want to get shit done. Sorry for the language, but sometimes it's just the best way to put it. And we're going to see here, the more workers we put in there, the faster we're going to proceed there. I like that. So that's that. Let's invite a couple of extra Dondorians into the city. Our food situation has improved wildly, so we can keep inviting in more people. We have more sciencing space here as well to science out more food technologies if necessary. Oopsie, that was not the button that I wanted to press. And I'm going to go and assign here a crazy amount of 8 workers in there. Increase that radius to make sure. There we go. The radius inside the mountains is a little bit wonky, so I had to expand it by a lot. So the mesh covered enough of that here. So let's see, how's it going to be for our fellas here? They would love some drinks. I mean, I do get that. And, well, they want a better eating service, but, well, like I said, it's going to be a big project here. And I actually don't want to do anything before this specific area here gets done more thoroughly. So the next job that I want to put up here is carving another road here, because I want the warehouse to be located somewhere around either here or here. I haven't fully decided yet, but luckily I don't have to decide yet, because those tunnels have to be dug out first. So, first thing that I notice about all this, a mountain city does require way more time than a normal city, but I shouldn't be really surprised about that. You know, mountain cities, they don't grow in 2 months. So let's fast forward a tiny little bit and see how we'll develop. Science points go up-ish. But I really don't see that much progress here. So what are all these guys doing? Our basic resources are dwindling quite hard right now. So let's see. Didn't I assign you guys to carve a tunnel into the stone mine there? Yes, I did. Oh, gosh. This is all taking ages. I could really use some more odd jobbers altogether. But, well, we sadly don't have that luxury. So I'm considering more and more to bring in some steady lumbering industry up to that meadow here. Because the area here is large enough to sport a couple of woodcutters' camps, and it would really help us a ton. Because we're starting to be quite hungry for those resources. And I grow bored of chopping those micro amounts that keep regrowing, at least here in the area, but it's really lots of tiny trees here. At least we have a ton of fertility nevertheless, so it ain't that bad at all, but it ain't good either. Okay, but the apartment block is getting done. What's not getting done anymore is the tunnel towards the mine, but guess you can't have everything here. So let's copy pasta that dude here. And assign 4 more workers here too. I'm focusing my workforce here a little bit more. And let's grab ourselves more and more Dondorians that want to migrate into town. Appreciate that. The real tough thing here will be that I'll have to get up the entire infrastructure before we set up the mines. That's a little bit annoying, but you have to know, in case you're not that accustomed to the game, at the end of the day, this mine will house hundreds of workers. We'll easily fit in 300 workers working on the ore and the coal there. One day. Not right from the get-go. We are going to work that mine on lower numbers, but you get the idea. So, homelessness is occurring. Let's check it out. I'm so happy that that guy explained to me how this color table is meant to be read. So let's see, where are people unhappy and homeless? Up here at the eatery. Are you kidding me? Okay, that's the last spot where I would have expected homelessness, but yeah, the apartments are all brim-filled here. That's why these tools are so valuable. It's so hard to read out where there's something missing otherwise. So we're going to set up a couple of extra apartments here. Something like... well, let's make them back-to-back here. Not more than that. Now, that is. But of course, they shall have their roads by all means. Okay, so we're going to require more resources and more workers, the usual drill. Okay, let's see. This should reduce the homelessness. A new level has been bestowed upon your name. Hell yeah, I'm a sheriff now. I could assign 2 nobles by now. But, well, nobles need chambers. No chambers, no nobles. Or, well, okay, no chambers. It's leads into homeless nobles, but that's not an option either. Not for me, at least. Get on in there. I want those workers. We have a pretty stable situation with the food, and even if I run out of food, or no, even if I produce less food than I eat right now, we have such large stockpiles that I have plenty of time to react to that situation before it'll be a real issue for us. So the next thing that I want to do before it becomes a necessity, I'll bring up a minuscule stockpile of gems. Gems don't decay. That's the wonderful thing about gems. All the other materials in this game have a certain amount of spoilage, but gems don't. So we're going to buy ourselves like 50 of those. I'll need those later for the chambers for the royals. Therefore, it's better to invest now than be sorry later. Why are they not chewing on these tunnels anymore? I'm disappointed with you guys. Anywho. So the homelessness issue has been resolved. That's good. Let's carve more tunnels. Yes, this is a little bit extravagant, but those chunks will help us later in 2 regards. For one, it's more pathways for the workers to creep through. And the other thing is it makes establishing building blocks a lot easier, as you see here. Here, this apartment block is growing quite nicely, isn't it? We also happen to have a nice stockpile of the fish. Nice. So, am I exporting leather by now, or am I not? Yes, I am. Great. Okay, so we got this as well. Alright. So, what can we tech out these days? The library will cost us a whopping amount of 8,000 science. I really don't think that you're supposed to make the library happen before you do the advanced laboratory. I don't see that as a thing. So let's see, what can we do except for that? The university and the schooling would be available for us way earlier than that. Interesting proposition there. The other thing that we could make and should make happen is bread. We really could use some. Let's see. I want to see how far the janitor's reach goes. So the janitor would reach far enough to establish 1 woodcutter up here. And tell you what, we're going to make it happen. I have pondered about this decision quite a while, and while I'm usually not a big fan of the woodcutters because I find they are quite lousy in terms of cost towards usefulness, but in this special situation, I'm going to make a exception for that rule. So we're going to do a woodcutter's place over here. Boom. Let's make it nice and large, but not too far. Let's see. I'm afraid that I'm going out of reach for the janitor's place this way, but we'll see about that. So this is only enough room for 7 workers. Never mind. We're going to set up our own janitor station up here. Ah, no. No. That's a wooden one. I don't want that. Delete room. Delete job. So weird that you're ought to delete the room and the job if you want to remove a structure like that. No, we're going to set up a new janitor just up here. It's going to be the northernmost janitor. It's okay. And then we're going to make a real woodcutter happen. I don't like to tone down only because stupid reasons. I don't mind smart reasons, but I do mind stupid reasons. There we go. 22 workers. So we're going to shrink that room, of course, over there. We don't need those water areas there either. Okay, so 22 workers. Let's see if I can expand that a tad bit over to this area here too. And to that area here too. We got it up to 23 workers at least. Great. I mean, it's not really what I hope to see. I was hoping for a couple of more workers possibly, but whatever. So here we are, 100%. Putting up the storage run closer to the road, and off we go. So we have some other projects there as well. Okay. Keeping our folks busy, and I bet that there's going to be a new homelessness problem up there. So we're basically spreading our city now far north and far south. That's pretty crazy. But, well, I don't see any problems with that stretch, honestly. So let's pick up a big batch of human workers here. I delayed that as long as possible because I wanted the Dondorians to be happy again, being the majority and all. But now we also need those. We also need those human workers for other things. Humans, by the way, are extreme good at 2 things. Science and administration. Those are the superpowers. If you ever wondered why there's so much bureaucracy around there, it's a human superpower. Today I learned. So, let's clear some more rock, because ironically we are out of rock right now. But, well, that's mostly because of those crazy street building projects that I have announced there. That's just eating up the last bit of rock that we got there. And are we by now exporting that cut stone properly? Are we? Tell me. We're actually not. We're merely exporting regular rock. Okay. So, definitely going to put up another export station in that regard. Oh, an unrightful death. I think it's time to set up town gods by now. And, actually, now that I think more closely about it, I want those, livestock also sold. Because, livestock has an extreme high spoiling rate, and it also has an extreme high monetary value. So, you get the idea. Alrighty. But beyond that, our work is getting ahead quite nicely. So happy. It's a pretty hard project this time, though. It's for sure one of the most complicated cities that I have came up with so far. Mostly because the terrain is working so hard against me here. So down there is not much happening. Let's keep our eye on this area up here. I think this will be much more interesting these days. Let's see. They have finished. Oh yeah, the market stalls. So we're going to sell away like 20% of our warehouse stock. Once we're above 408 cut stone, they are allowed to sell it. And the other thing... What's the other thing? Ah, yeah, livestock, exactly. With the livestock, we're selling everything above 25 items. Due to the high spoiling rate, you know. Okay, and I also realized that obviously we could use a trading post for furniture too. But before I start selling furniture, I'll amp up the stockpiles massively. Because I do know one thing. You stockpile furniture for quite a while until you start building larger things, and then all of a sudden your hundreds of pieces of furniture are poof, gone with the wind, and you start wondering why the hell didn't you bring up larger stockpiles. That's the story of furniture in this game. Usually is, for me at least. Well, okay. Taking quite some time until they get stuff finished here. I could set up a worker station here too if I'd really want to, but I'm okay with those guys taking their time. I mean, we have so many different projects that get done here. Here's a path to the quarry. I bet that, oh yeah, look at that. They are finally getting done those paths towards the ore and coal mine, so there's progress left and right. So well, whatever. We're going to do this. On closer thoughts, let's just set up 4 workers here, getting the stuff done there. Steady income of wood will help our city so much. That's why I want to speed it up a bit. So let's see when the homelessness will occur. Janitor is on auto-employ. Wonderful. Also keeping a keen eye out on my food stockpiles. You never know when your people will start to eat the stuff they're producing. Alrighty, so the woodcutter, as you see here, is a longer project. They have to clear out this area quite thoroughly, obviously. Well, let's pick up more human workers. Come on. Let's do this. I need them, you know. And the first case of homelessness has occurred. Let's see. Where? Yeah, well, it's people living up here already. Although there's nothing to live at here. So we're going to see. Here's the next little population center. So we're going to set up a little bit of a living area, probably down here. Mostly because I feel like this could be another smaller woodcutting camp. So we're going to do this here. So let's do this. This is enough for 18 residents, so since I don't know if woodcutting camps are noisy or not, I'm going to leave a little bit of extra space there. So that's enough for 36 people. Let's amp that up to the double amount of 72 people. Go. Put up a road there, and again, the basics have to be there. A well, a lavatory, and the like. We're going to check that out later in more detail. So here's the well. The next thing we're going to put up is the hearth. The well and the hearth are the two things that I love putting up ASAP. Because the people are really, really happy to have that. So there we go. that should resolve the whole homelessness issue. And let's get ourselves a dozen of workers up here. And increase that radius. So we get that woodcutter finally done. Okay. So we have ill people again. So yeah, medical support. It's a new thing in this version. Your subjects now can get ill. That's something that was not possible way back when. So that means we also are now supposed to set up a doctor's place and this like. Alrighty. So we have a I don't know what kind of disease in the city, but we do have a disease in the city. So have you guys finally cleared out 100% of that area? It's taken years now. So really wondering if we'd be taking longer for the woodcutter than for the mines. Okay. Looks like they're finally getting their materials over there. I really should have brought up a hauler there. You know what? It's never too late to help your folks. Let's set up a hauler for... Step off that hauler. You fool. I want to use that now. There we go. Furniture. There we go. Since it's obviously taken ages for those folks to haul the furniture by themselves from the local warehouse, I'm giving them a little bit of a helping hand here. There we go. The city does require all my little tricks. Nicholas, hey there. The workstation ain't working properly. Now, you have to take care that the radius is high enough. You see, that blue mesh grid that you can configure with the radius has to be over the projects that you want to have. You have to have enough workers. And if there is material necessary for the job you want to get done, you have to have the hauler there. Here I had the same issue. I had a ton of workers there, but they were obviously unable to get those 92 units of furniture up there. The whole workforce was only worth something in the moment I gave them the hauler. So, just a couple of ideas why you might have an issue there. So you see here, people are already moving on in there. Let's check out how the situation down at the mine is working on out. Oh yeah. Look at that. Beautiful. The whole housing area seems to be already caved out. So we can here, oopsie, delete that workstation as you see here. Workload 0%. We can free up those workers. And how about that? Here we have a pretty okay workload. There's lots of tunneling here to do. Okay, now then, back up there. Woodcutter is taking ages, though. I'm really surprised about that. So let's reduce our workers up here to amount that I have enough to fully load up the woodcutter then. Well, the moment you put them up here into the workstation, they are no longer odd jobbers. They are then a fixed part of the workforce, so to say. Okay, we got that, and now the next thing that I want to have is a warehouse up here. Because we're going to produce quite a lot of things up here. And I also need a distribution center for my new housing area there. But don't worry too much about that, Nicholas. As long as you have enough regular workers, every job should get done sooner or later. It's just very important that you don't assign too many jobs at once, and that the jobs aren't too far away from home. But I sadly can't tell you what the issue is there with your specific thing there. So let's see. Oh boy, Grand Building would be 750 cut stone. Probably I should. I think I'm not going to export that stuff. Now that I think more closely about that, the great nation of DONDOR probably wants to keep those stones all for themselves. Maybe not all of the stones, but most of the stones. Seriously, now that I've seen what kind of numbers we need for the larger stuff, I don't want to say no to that. Okay, we're going to require stone and wood here, so let's do some regular old tree felling here. And let's see that this warehouse gets done. Yeah, brute forcing through things with odd jobbers works just fine. I usually only use those workstations when I'm running with extremely far away outposts, like in this scenario now. Like, where legit my starting point was here, my furthest most point of the city now is up here in the north, and the next furthest most point will be up down there in the south. This is one of the first scenarios where I'm like, okay, I really need to use those workstations and the like. Usually I get along without them too. So, let's see. The Dondorians, they want more services. But obviously they are quite happy with the rest of the services, so they want a lavatory there. Let's see. Let's give me the heat map. So here we have lavatory needs. Yeah, of course we have a entire part of the city there without. So we're going to set up the next lavatory right next to that eatery. So left shift copy that thing. And, well, let's do this as neighboring buildings. Just trying my best to make the Dondos happy again, because we need more. We really, really need more people there. Because we are already, again, running out of workers here a tad bit. We're only at 5 workforce there. And considering all the jobs that we're putting up right now, yeah, well, let's get some more human workers. I mean, it's supposed to be a human and Dondorian city after all. Not only Dondorians. But I'm really amused of the fact how much issue the Dondorians have with the religious topic, that humans pray to the wrong god in their understanding. I had no clue that this would become a thing. Like, now we have a religious issue. The dwarves don't like the religion of the humans. Great. Alright. Let's bribe the dwarves with better housing equipment. You hate their religion. Here. You have the fine furniture. These guys are legit living in rags. Doesn't that make you happy? And those Dondorians are unhappy because of the religious beliefs of the human populace. That's a pretty cool map, I agree. I like that. But the thing about Songs of Six is it has one hell of a map generator. I always felt like this is one of the games where pretty much most of my cities that I'm playing have one, or have a really cool map in one way or another. So let's let's bring up guards. We need something against the crime. This will make people also very, very happy, so... Infrastructure. I always keep forgetting that law is considered as infrastructure. So we need a guard post and a dungeon. So the guard post requires some armor. Okay. Then let's buy ourselves some armor. Super happy that I'm such a filthy rich little city here. Let's buy ourselves 50 armor. And I want to export. Actually, I was considering exporting furniture, but now that I see that my cotton is full, let's just export the entire cotton. If I ever want that stuff for real, I'm going to go for my own production. Okay, I got distracted now. Where was I? Stone. Did I already put up a collection job? Yes, I did. Okay. Ah, yeah. Now, law and order. That's where I left. We wanted to put law and order up in this place. So, we're going to start on out here in the wild southern regions. Mostly because this is, like, one good center of the city. So we're going to set on up our guard post here. And the dungeon right next to that. So here we go. Let's see. Shouldn't that do it? Yep. So, I don't want to overdo it. 16 prisoners should be really enough for our needs to begin with. And here we go. So, here we go. I'm a little bit low on stone these days, but, well, that's been my own mistake. There's so much to gather here on the map, I just forget to assign the gathering jobs from time to time. Since we don't have a quarry yet, you know. Alright, so setting up some law enforcement is going to make a big change, I think, here. Because this is... Law enforcement is typically that point which is making people a lot happier. Alrighty. How is it up there? The poop house is done. Warehouse up here is getting delayed hardcore. That's a little bit sad, but whatever. Alrighty. How do you make so much money? I export the overproductions of my city. So basically every stuff that I produce too much of, I have an export station sitting around for that. So whenever something overspills, for example here you see the leather, I've configured it that everything above 1,100 pieces of leather gets out. And I do that basically for every good in my city. Whenever I see a red marker like that, I start putting up an export center and start selling that stuff. Because this way you're saving yourself from loss to spoiling. Because at the end of the day, when you mouse over these things, you see leather has a spoilage rate of 10%, wood has a spoilage rate of 30%. All these things, when they just lie around in your city, they just will decay. Might as well export them and earn yourself some denaries to buy those things that you require every now and then. And this way you get a pretty steady and passive income. And this is always different for every city that I play. What's also very helpful in this regard, I'm going to show you, is in the tech tree, down here, the bartering technology, trade negotiations. Go for at least one level if you can. It'll increase the prices you get for your sold goods tremendously. Alright, we have the guard post, and we're now working on the prison cells. God lord, where's all the stone? Are you guys eating it, or what? So here. The law enforcement is making the Dondorians happy. Let's see. Here. There's a bit of a increase now. Or it should at least. I guess it doesn't really count as long as there's no prison involved as well. Let's fast forward this a little bit. I guess the stone we harvest is going to be spent immediately right these days. So let's see. These guys have a workload of 0%, so they might as well not be there. We're going to put a workstation instead up here. With, let's say, 6 workers, so they can chow on that. Yeah, it's a pretty nice trick that I discovered a while ago. Really helps a ton to keep your income stable. And I have discovered that every one of my cities was overproducing something, even if it was just food. Might as well export that food in that scenario, you know. Alright, so we have a dungeon now. Now let's see, do I have a heat map as well for that? Ish. So the guard post is requiring 5 people. Well, that's a bit of a problem because that means we're going to require a lot more guards there. So 1 guard post will go up here as well. But I don't feel like I have the necessary workforce right now. Okay, we are massively overproducing lumber by now. So I will tune down my my woodcutters here a little bit. Because it's good for nothing if we just overproduce like that. We need right now those odd jobbers. Really need a bit of a workforce to get stuff done for us. And I don't think we are using up that much wood these days. Alright. Can't wait for that warehouse to be finally done. And those mines. Or at least it's more like we are waiting for the entrances of the mines to get done. After that, we're going to set up the stuff quite easily. Let's bring in a little bit of extra metal here. I know that we're needing it. Here our workers are relentlessly carving on that. And now we have our first prisoners. And homeless people. So, yeah, the workstation is creating homelessness, but I kind of like expected that. So, I mean, it's exactly what we wanted to happen here. I mean, it has been our plan all the way to create apartments here, no? So, let's see. Let's put up a couple of apartments there. And we're going to require a lot of lighting. But it's going to be so damn cool once it's done. So here we go. The homelessness should subside now. Yep. So these are literally the first few of many to live here inside the mountain. I don't want to give new jobs right now because I really want them to get finished with those tunnels. And if I slap on new jobs right now, I'm just way too concerned that they'll be depleting stuff again. And we are running lower on food again. So let's see. Our pastures should ramp up production-wise over the course of the time. Should. But let's see if they will. I also happen to need more rock. But I've been picking up more and more people lately, so I'm not too surprised that my food count is lowering yet again. So let's set up another nice little fishery here. One day we're also going to bring up real agriculture with grain. But one thing at a time, you know, one thing at a time. Okay, here we have another thing for a whopping amount of 29 fishers. Now that's going to keep people sated. Alrighty, here we go. It's also going to pin down a lot of people there. Can you assign tools to the odd jobbers? Interesting question. Let me check. So, workforce and rooms, housing, work, infrastructure, civics, warehouses. Doesn't look like you can, though. Alrighty, here, the warehouse is finally done. We need an auto-employment on this house, and this thing is going to be the timber shack. But what it's also going to be, we're going to keep a slot open for all manner of different foods. Because I do plan to expand this area here. We're also going to have a little bit of stone here, and beyond that, I don't know yet. So, what's the matter with you folks? Why are you starting to be unhappy again? Because of service decay, I see. Yeah, I admit that those mountain homes aren't the best. Yeah. Alright, this will bind a ton of workers again. I'm well aware of that. But I think, well, considering, let's see, 21 worker fishery created 500. 400. It's a very, very good spot there. We'll see about that. So, let's pick up more human workers yet again. And there we go. Another big job provided. So what I want to do here as well is I want to employ more scientists because I want to increase my my fishery production even further. Our city is relying so much on the fish income. We really need more more science in that regard. So let's see. But I only got 14 more workers, so I should rather take it slow there. I mean, I got 6 workers here on that thing here, but workload 0%. Well, then we're going to delete that. Padash. No, you cannot uncover anything. Oh gosh, people are ill. You see those already always when you start on out with the game. You see those red squares? These are demarking ore patches. And if you look at here, most of that stuff is inside the blackness of the mountain, so you don't accidentally discover anything. Although I wish they'd this would change a tad bit. Would be cool, I think. Alrighty, let's see. I hope that the food stockpiles will go up again now, after I have employed such a ton of new fishers there. I also don't want to increase the fishing tech now. I'll keep that as a trump card back in my sleeve, so to say. So we're going to, I've made my decision. We're going to make the warehouse here. So let's do this. So, well, this will be a giant project, but I don't care. This will be the central warehouse in the mountain. It's one thing I love about this game. There's absolutely no pressure time-wise. Yes, your people will eventually die of old age, and then you have to replace them with new migrants, but that's all. And I think the life expectancy of Dondorians was quite sick. So yeah, now we earn enough food back in. Just like I thought. So, let's do this. I want a torch somewhere here, but I'll have to take care where. So let's do these let's start on out with the torches on the crossroads to begin with. Where is the metal that I ordered? So there we go. There we go. Yeah. The moment I gave them a closer mining job, they all poured on top of that. But it's actually quite a good thing because of a simple reason. I am not doing anything with those mines without a warehouse to back it up, so it's okay. It's really totally okay to have it this way. So we have here, and that's pretty much the key that I want to keep here in the Empire of Dondor. 2/3 Dondorians, 1/3 humans. That's roughly how I want to keep it now. So, stockpiles are looking really good these days. What's not good looking that well stockpile-wise is the clothing. We're running out of clothing by now. So let's see. We could change, we could set up a little bit more people into the tailor, but, well, right now I don't want to set up new projects there. The warehouse is any benefit with DK? No. No. It's like you can research technology that does reduce the amount of decay. Here. So, this is the only thing where you can improve on, but you have 20 levels which you can level up here of this tech, which reduce the spoilage of stuff. Also pretty good technology here is logistics, where you can ramp up the carrying capacity of your people. This basically makes them carry more and therefore get jobs done more quickly. No, there's the inside of the mountain has only one benefit. It makes Dondorians living there happier. Dondorians love to sit in mountains, you know. Alrighty. Food for 17 days. Let's hire us some more humans. I have 11 prisoners. Okay, I'll have to check that out. So... makes me wonder if we really have enough dungeoning capacity here. So let's do one thing, though. I want to build that secondary guard post I was thinking about. Up here? Oh no. Because I think that's a really, really important thing to have. I do hope I have enough armor. I do. Probably have to buy more of that stuff, though. Let's buy ourselves like 50. And... oh, well... what happens if I refurnish the dungeon? I don't really want to know, honestly. We are going to set up a dungeon on the other side of the town as well. And then we're going to upgrade these respectively. So... here goes. Also need to order another batch of iron. I mean, we are right now dirty rich, so it's not that much of an issue for us to spend these things with denaries. That's okay. So I want to upgrade the dungeon capacity here right away. I just didn't want to have no backup dungeon for the prisoners, so to say. And let's see, yeah, corporal punishment. Let's do this. People love that. Gives them good mood to see people get executed and the like. Good old medieval times. So let's give that laboratory a new station there. Let's hope that okay, they're getting it done before a tremendous amount of knowledge decayed. Good job, I'm proud of you. You did it so well. Alright, so I just noticed that I wanted to have that. Alrighty. So, well, let's pick up 10 more humans. Down there, work slowly getting done. More slowly than anything else, but whatever. Food stockpiles are looking on good as well. And we're going to invite our first nobleman pretty soon. But first, I want to have the chambers done, but, well, one thing at a time, you know, one thing at a time. Let's wait for that prison to be finally done. Then we're setting up the place where we can do the corporal punishments. So, here we go. More dungeoning space. Obviously, we seem to need it. Let's put up more cells in here, though, right away. So, heavy-duty prison. Let's put up a hauler there. be a hauler here somewhere. Infrastructure? No? Logistics, of course. Just making sure that we get that metal here quickly. There we go. I'd be very sad if that dungeon here wouldn't be done in a good amount of time. Okay, I hate that feeling to have not enough prison space, you know? Just gives me a bad feeling. Alright, law. Let's put up the scaffolds. Behind the old dungeon. So we have gallows. And we have chopping blocks. And decorations. I have no clue why the decorations are actually increasing fear, but I don't care. Good, so. And, well, last batch of humans, and then we're going to see to the needs of the Dondorians again. But if I'm not mistaken, this should be also the last opportunity, or the last occasion where we're going to set up a larger thing up here. This might be the last touch, and then we're going to go into the wild south. After we have brought up a pretty nice something here in the north, actually. Really working out quite nicely there. Okay. I'm a little bit sad that I didn't manage to build a single mine in today's gameplay. But whatever. Preparation is important. I noticed one thing about this game, then should not fall to the lure of playing hasty. It only makes things really, really bad for you. You guys are taking forever here to finish anything. So, bring up 2 haulers here, even. One for stone, one for furniture. These guys are taking way too long for that. Knowing this, next time I'm just going to set up the haulers right away, together with the building site, and stop being annoyed by those delays. So I really hope that we're going to see some more Dondorian immigration with the scaffolds and the like. Usually this makes people quite damn happy. Alrighty, finally a place to get rid of those guilty people. Alright. So, let's see how things are moving along here. Oh, not that well, not that fast. What the hell? Why are we at minus tech? You guys shouldn't be at minus tech. That's weird. I've expanded on the knowledge production before, even after I have bought. Now I'm frankly said confused about that. So... hold left shift and disable. We're going to disable the trade negotiation thing, so we get a couple of points back. Whatever happened there, I don't really quite get it. it doesn't matter that much either. It's important that we're fixing the situation now. ASAP. Alright, good thing that I noticed this before it blew up in my face. Because that's one of those typical situations that really, really ruin your day when you notice it's too late. When you're suddenly starting to forget technologies and all. It's pretty annoying. It's really annoying. Somehow a bit of more than I could chew there, huh? Well, whatever. Ugh. When will they finally beat? Oh. It takes so long. But that's also a bit of a Songs of Six meme. Everything takes so long. We've got a ton of prisoners by now. We could turn them into slaves and make a nice penny out of that. But I figured the Empire of Dondor is not like that. They are no slavers. I don't see them as slave drivers. I don't know. So let's see, you guys, you want a stage, you want a new spot, yeah. Totally agree with you. So we're going to make this then a bit of a plaza, where we are going to fulfill the needs of our people. Something like that. The amount of workers here is pretty low. Probably should start researching on an asylum too. Way too many wackos here. Where do my workers disappear into, though, I wonder? Well, okay. Sometimes they also disappear into prison. Okay, well, progression down here is quite the slow burn. So, let's set up another workstation here. And make sure that this room at least finally gets done. I really expected a little bit more positive impact from the executioners' places and the like. Really thought that this would provide a little bit more fulfillment for the people, but whatever. Seems like I was wrong about that. Anywho, what's way more important is now we finally have that warehouse. So as you see here, huge thing. Also highly unstable, so let's stabilize that thing. Let's see. Probably gonna leave some spare places here. Bit huge, isn't it? I like it. So we're definitely not going to fill that thing up anytime too soon, but that's not really an issue there. This is also going to be a massive job provider later. But for now, we're going to leave the storage just like that. We don't need such insane numbers right away right now. I'm super happy if we finally have that. Is this like Dwarf Fortress? No, LS. This Dwarf Fortress is way more of a hyper-realistic simulation, whereas this is more like, I don't know. It's a very realistic city builder, so I find a hard time comparing this game to anything else that I've played so far, LS. I'm sorry. So 1,300 pieces of stone are necessary for that thing. Sick. Aw, look! We're finally punching through! Ah, about damn time. Alrighty. It's a great day for the Dondorian Empire. Alrighty. So we'll have to work on the fulfillment and the happiness of our Dondorian folks a lot. Okay, so let's see. We want some storage for these things here. Then we want some storage for ore and coal, because those will be main products down here. Then we want some crates for food of all types. And above that, we'll see. No clue yet. Hooray! We are finally inside the mountain. Ah, oh, good thing. Alright. So now the big problem there is, worker-wise, it's a nightmare. I have only a small amount of workers here available. And mining and the like does require insane amounts of workforce, so... Oh well. This is going to take a while. So first things first. I want a speaker in here. And a hearth. Then we're going to talk about other cultural pleasures here. Okay, but the good news, we are all together, feeding those guys quite well. We have everything we need. And so far, things are looking out quite nicely. Okay, so we need a well here, a well as well. Let's make that 2 wells. And then I think I'm going to drop the ball for today, because I think I want to take a little bit of a break and ponder about what has happened here and where to continue next. We're going to see to a higher amount of Dondorian populace next time. We're definitely finally going to build a bit of mining at least next time, and we'll see about that. So thanks so much for watching, you everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. If this has been a video on demand for you, you can safely just drop a comment down below, leave me a thumbs up. Would help a lot, and also consider subscribing. Last but not least, description box has social media links where I post all the streams upcoming on Discord or Twitter, and there's also links for support for this channel. I have a nice Patreon campaign running these days where you can influence the future content of the site, and you also can just directly donate to PayPal via PayPal to me if you would. Check that out. I'd be delighted. If not, don't mind. I'm just doing my ad roll, and I am very happy you watched all this. So have a good one, and see you next time.